In a dark place, two girls appear running in fear from the soldiers chasing them, and one of the girls attacks the soldiers with her sword and takes them down, and we learn that her name is Catalina, and she tries to reassure her friend Lyria that they will be fine. Suddenly a voice comes from nowhere saying your attempt is useless Catalina, and a purple crystal comes out, and the moment Lyria sees it she collapses and falls, and Catalina reacts angrily and says enough for her already. But suddenly we find that Lyria was able to destroy the crystal without even touching it, and a huge explosion happens in the place, which we discover is a warship flying in the sky, and Lyria falls from the warship because of the explosion. On the ground and on a simple island we find two boys named Gran and Araun, and who directs his words to Gran while he is chopping wood, and says I am always surprised by your ability to keep going in work. So Gran replies to him this is good training for me. And we hear a voice calling Gran, and we find that it is a small red dragon and Gran's friend named Vyrn, and Araun's father comes in and thanks Gran for working in his place. So Gran asks him are you better now? So Araun's father replies I will be fine soon thanks to your help, and they notice the presence of a warship above the forest so they wonder. Suddenly an explosion happens and they notice something glowing falling from the ship. So Gran wonders what is the light that might have fallen. So Vyrn replies it might be some wreckage, so Gran pulls his sword and tells Vyrn let's go see what this is. And they really find some of the wreckage and keep exploring, and they find a blue shining light so they head towards it, and they find a girl shining from the crystal in her chest that gave that light, so they go to her and try to wake her up. And when she wakes up and Gran asks her are you okay? She replies with fear I am fine but a bit tired, so Vyrn tells her I never saw you before where are you from? So Lyria cannot reply from confusion, and Gran says to her with amazement on his face don't tell me you are the thing that fell from the ship, so Vyrn replies to him no impossible. So Gran tells Lyria if you are in trouble we can help you, she replies thanks to you. So Gran introduces himself and Vyrn, and asks her what happened to you. She starts to remember and tells him I was imprisoned in a dark place for a long time and Catalina told me she will take me out of it, and we were trying to escape from the soldiers. Suddenly she remembers Catalina and asks did any of you see Catalina? So they reply we don't know who Catalina is so what does she look like? She replies Lyria she is a beautiful and strong girl, so Gran tells her while helping her up then let's go look for her. Suddenly they hear the sound of soldiers coming at them, so Lyria screams we must run quickly, so Gran asks her are these the ones who were chasing you? She replies yes, and here Gran pulls his sword while reassuring her don't worry I will protect you. And one of the soldiers shouts at him and tells him it is better for you to hand her over, so Gran refuses. And the soldier attacks him so Gran stabs him and he dies, and he attacks the second soldier and breaks his sword and takes him down, and Gran tells Lyria let's go look for Catalina. But first we must let the villagers know what is happening, and they find one of the soldiers moved and pulled a weapon from his pocket but he does not point it at them but points it to the sky. And we discover it is a signal flame for the soldiers so they know their location, so they feel the danger and escape and Gran asks Lyria who are these? She tells him they are from the Empire, and fear appears on Gran and Vyrn's faces, and Vyrn looks at Gran angrily and tells him making an enemy with the Empire is a stupid thing. And the soldiers manage to surround them but Catalina suddenly enters and kills the soldier who stopped her, and happiness appears on Lyria's face when she saw Catalina, who continues fighting the soldiers, and the moment she reached Lyria she told her we must run now and looked at Gran and Vyrn and told them you too. And they start running in the forest and when they get far from the soldiers Lyria asks Catalina what will we do now? Catalina replies we will leave this island. And I have an airship we will use it but it is a bit far, and she asks Lyria will you be able to keep up longer on the island? She replies yes, so Catalina tells her I am happy nothing happened to you after all this. And Catalina introduces herself to Gran and tells him I am Lieutenant Catalina from the Empire of Ersta, and thank you very much for your help. So Gran asks her why are the soldiers chasing you? Catalina apologizes to him I cannot say the details, but we can say that Lyria is a special girl and they had imprisoned her for a long time, but I wanted to help her escape from there. So Gran offers to take her to her ship, so Vyrn yells at him and tells him will you put yourself in danger again? So Catalina tells him I will not allow anyone to get involved with us, so Gran tells her I will not rest until I make sure myself that the matter ended and that you managed to escape and also you will reach faster if we are with you. So Vyrn tells her even if she refused then it is done Gran made his decision and will do what he thinks. So Catalina agrees that Gran and Vyrn take them but they must listen to her words. On their way they find the soldiers interrogating one of the island's residents about a girl with blue hair, so the man denies I didn't see anyone like that, so the captain orders him to take him to his village so the villagers will be forced to search for the girl with the soldiers, so the man refuses. so they pull his daughter from him and threaten to kill her. Suddenly Catalina enters and kills the soldier holding the girl, and she is surprised by Gran's strength when he kills the other soldiers, and Catalina apologizes to the man for what happened, and Gran tells her we must move away quickly, and they really start to continue their way to the ship, and Catalina notices the arrows coming towards them and skillfully shields Gran with her sword. And we find that the leader of those archers is a man named Captain Palmer, who tells her you are very skilled in fighting, but I will not forgive you for what you did. And Catalina had already noticed the arrangement of the soldiers around her, and Catalina tells Gran take Lyria and run. But Captain Palmer laughs and tells her you surely realized what this formation means, there is no time to escape. Suddenly a huge dragon with 7 heads appears and attacks Gran and knocks him flying, and slams him to the ground and attacks him with fire until it surrounds him from all sides and he cannot escape, and attacks him with its fangs and breaks the sword and causes him a big wound. And Gran falls among Vyrn screaming and crying over him and his attempts to wake him up. And Catalina screams at Palmer he is just a child, why kill him? So the captain replies mockingly the matter will not end with killing him only, if Lyria used all her power there will be more chaos than this, and you are still insisting on freeing her. So Lyria gets angry and tells him Catalina and Gran were trying to protect me and now I will protect them. Suddenly she gives her power to Gran who is unconscious, and he starts to see Lyria's shadow talking to him in his consciousness and telling him use my power Gran, I am sure you will know how, and she stretches her hand to him and he holds it and Lyria's crystal shines with the blue light. And Gran wakes up and asks what happened, why do I feel different? And we find that Gran's wound disappeared, so Palmer gets angry and orders the dragon to kill Gran, and with all calm Lyria and Gran raise their hands and recite the name Bahamut. So light shines from them to the sky, and from the middle of the light comes out a huge terrifying dragon named Bahamut. The captain gets scared of the dragon and says what is this? But he gathers his courage and says whatever you are I will not allow you to stand in my way, and orders his dragon to attack it. So the 7-headed dragon starts breathing fire on Bahamut but there is no effect, and from behind the smoke Bahamut starts gathering his power in his hand and attacks the captain's dragon. So the captain screams in despair, impossible this to happen, how did he know to kill it? And he says to himself I guess it is time to retreat, and orders the soldiers we must withdraw and return to the empire with a report about what happened. Then Catalina is astonished and asks herself is this Lyria's power? And Gran asks Lyria what is this? She replied to him this is Bahamut and he is the one who helped us, and she pointed at the crystals so Bahamut begins to disappear, and while speaking Gran loses consciousness. And we go back to the past and find little Gran sitting in the forest reading a letter from his father, and its content is about the astral island and the huge dragons. And Vyrn comes to him and tells him you are still reading your father's letter. Gran replies to him I am very excited for the adventures in those places, one day I will be a skyfarer and go there. So Araunt's voice cuts him saying you still want to go to Astral Island? Don't you get bored of this subject? It is just fantasy, nothing more. Gran objects and tells him no, it exists in letters and in many books that talked about it. So Araunt replies to him and tells him you don't know if it is real or not, and it might end up being just a story and fantasy, until when will you keep believing in it? So Gran replies to him with determination no, it exists and I will be a skyfarer like my father and I will go to Astral Island. And they start fighting and hitting each other until Araunt's father intervenes and yells at them, and punishes them, and talks to Gran and tells him I know this letter makes you happy but you are still young, when you grow up you will get the chance and then you will be ready for it. Gran wakes up in the present and finds himself in his house and beside him Lyria, who cries as soon as he wakes up and asks him do you feel pain from anything? So Vyrn and Catalina come to her voice and reassure him. So Gran asks Catalina what happened with the soldiers of the empire, so she replies to him and tells him they withdrew from the island. So he asks her about the villagers, and she replies nobody got hurt or anything except you were the only one injured, you were dead. So Vyrn objects and tells her how is he dead? Catalina replies and tells him that he is alive thanks to Lyria's power but magic does not bring back the dead. And Catalina tells them I need to tell you what is happening in the empire. They were doing research on the crystals and Lyria was their way in those studies, so they were holding her for a long time and I wanted to take her out and protect her. And Lyria's power lies in that she can control the beasts of Astral Island. And surely the dragon she summoned was from the beasts of the island. So Vyrn cuts her happily, meaning she is from the legends of Astral. She replies to him I don't think so because they all died long ago. So Gran asks her then what is she? Lyria replies we don't know, I have no memories before the emperor took me, but I know I have great power. When you died I knew I could do something, and I was able to merge my power with you, that is why you are alive but we cannot be separated. So Catalina explains to him meaning you two are now one being, if you separate you might die. And Catalina continues and tells him we were planning to leave this island before the return of the emperor, so now you must come with us. And they go out of the house and find the villagers making a big feast and celebration for them. So Catalina cuts the celebration and tells them we apologize because we are the reason for the Empire attacking you. So one of the villagers replies and tells them don't apologize, the important thing is Gran is fine. And the rest of the villagers agree, but Catalina cuts them with her words and tells them I cannot cause you more trouble, we will leave tomorrow, and Gran adds I also will go with them. And they return to the house and Catalina repeats her apology to Gran. So he tells her it is not your fault I died and that Lyria gave me half her power to live. I remember when you stretched your hand to me, I was the one who held it. I also wanted to live. Not only that, I wanted to travel. And there is a place I want to go because my father is there and I don't know exactly where he is, but I will look for him. And Vyrn replies to him I was sure you would say that. And I also want to go with you. The more we are, the more the fun increases. So Catalina tells them seriously there is a place that has the answer about Lyria's truth and it is Astral Island. And they return to the villagers and Gran tells them I will go with Lyria and Catalina on the journey and achieve my dream. So Catalina explains to them and tells them we will go to a place called the Dark Abyss. So the villagers are surprised because that place is known to be full of ferocious beasts. So Catalina continues her words and tells them I learned that the location of the island is behind the Dark Abyss. So their words are cut by Aran's agitated voice. Are you serious about the decision of this dangerous journey? And if you will go, why take Gran with you? He also will become a target for the Empire. So Gran replies to him I was the one who asked them, and that makes Aran angrier and he tells him you never think logically. So Aran's father cuts them and tells him Gran waited a long time to find his chance. And the time came to achieve his dream, and we all know that from the day he received the letter from his father he was training for this moment. So Aran speaks sadly and says I also know this is your dream and you are ready for it, but will you return to us again after you meet your father? So Gran replies to him I promise you I will return again. And they are interrupted by Lyria's stomach growling because she was hungry, so the villagers laugh at her and they start eating. And when morning comes they prepare to depart, and Gran is surprised when he saw for the first time a real airship. So Aran's father tells him the weather is nice and similar to the day your father bid you farewell. Venture Gran and see what your father saw and search for him. So Catalina operates the ship, but instead of going up it goes down, so Vyrn screams at her and tells her pull the lever up. So they fly above the clouds with amazement from them, and Gran says I never imagined our island is that small, but I promise them I will return again, and surely I will return again. After not a long time in the sky, and Gran's interest in swords, so Lyria is happy and buys it, and they walk to see the rest of the city. So Gran tells him we are visitors, but what is done in this castle? The old man replies this castle is a resting place for merchants, so they enter and rent a place to spend the night. And they hear the sound of a big ship in the harbor, and Gran likes it very much. Here Vyrn's love for apples makes him run to them, but Lyria grabs him and tells him Catalina warned us not to go with a stranger. So the boy says Lieutenant Catalina always gets ahead of us by a step, then he realizes he slipped and exposed himself here. Vyrn refuses to leave him alone and the two boys start mocking him, and one of them attacks Gran with his crystals that explode, and a big fire forms, so Gran blocks it, and we find plants moving on the walls and dropping the ceiling on them, but all seats on the passenger ship are booked. We must think in another way. They are interrupted by the voice of a little girl who tells them it looks like you have a problem, I can help you, and when surprise shows on their faces, she tells them I am Sierra and I have a shop. So Catalina asks her can you get us by a warship to transfer us to another island? So Catalina tells her the problem is that we do not have someone who can pilot it. The girl replies and tells her it is hard to find a ship but easy to find a retired captain here on the island. And one person in the restaurant adds like Recap, for example, who was a captain but the commanders abandoned him and he is now obsessed with his ship's wreck trying to fix it. So they decide to go to Recap's ship and that it is not wreckage and that he managed to repair it. And they hear the sound of soldiers coming, so they hide in a small building, and he boasts that he will kill all the people of the city, and when one of his soldiers objects he kills him. So a sound of agitation comes from Lyria and Gran, and he orders her arrest, but from behind a distant cave bullets come at the soldiers, and it is deliberate not to hit the soldiers, and one of the bullets hits a door to an underground passage, so Gran realizes that Recap is behind the attack to open for them to escape, and they all go down into the passage. And when they go down to the passage, Catalina is worried and does not know where this place leads, but Gran is reassured and a light comes from afar and we discover it is Recap, but he is angry and tells them of course you will thank me again, but I was not helping you, I was protecting my ship. Anyway, this passage ends at my house. I will host you there today. And when they reach the house they find it full of mess and drawings of ships, so Recap apologizes to them for the state of the house and asks them why were you near my ship? Gran replies we were looking for you, because we need a captain for our ship. Recap refuses and tells them I will not fly except with my own ship. And he starts telling them about it and says this ship has been there since my childhood, and I put all my effort to repair it until I became skilled in fixing ships, but a storm happened and destroyed it again, and when I tried to fix it again I could not. And he continues, I was the one who chose my ship, and if it did not choose me then it is not right to fly in the sky, and I know this is superstition but I believe in it. And he directs his words to Gran and tells him, Gran, you are a skilled person and you will become something great, and I have no problem teaching you anything, and I am sure you will be able to learn. So Gran thanks him, and Catalina cuts them and tells them we must warn the islanders that the Empire intends to wipe them out. And they thank Recap, and before leaving Recap offers to continue with them and tells them, since I knew what the Empire is planning then I must join. At that time the soldiers' commander is yelling at them about what happened, and tells them, how did Catalina escape us and how did that sniper manage to distract you? But no problem, we will wipe them all out along with the rest of the island. And he asks one of the soldiers, is everything ready? The soldier replies, everything is ready and arranged. Suddenly the weather changes and the winds become strong, and Recap is surprised because this is not natural. So Catalina says, what could be their plan? Could they have weapons able to destroy the whole island? Suddenly they are interrupted by the voice of the two boys who tried to kill them in the market, so Vyrn gets scared of them and tells them, you again? What do you want? Here Catalina understands and asks them, you want to take back Lyria? I will not allow you to touch her even. So one of the boys replies to her, no, we are not up to such big words, we are only still on our promise and our offer still stands. So Lyria tells him, you really want to give us your worship? And the boy adds he does not need payment also. So Catalina replies angrily, we will not accept any service from you until we know who you are, and what your interest is in all this. So the two boys get angry and tell her, in this case we will have to use violence. And one of the boys attacks with his exploding crystals on Gran, but Recap defends him and attacks the boy, and we find the other boy attacked Catalina and Gran started to attack too. But suddenly we find the weather became worse, and tornadoes started to form, so the two boys retreat and say this is the time to withdraw. The commander started executing his plans and they escaped. So Vyrn gets upset that they left without knowing who they are and how they belong to the Empire and still want to help them. So Catalina tells him the Empire is divided into factions, not all under one general, but Lyria feels a bad feeling because of the weather. Suddenly the tornadoes strike the houses and chaos is everywhere, and the houses collapse and people run in every direction, and they resort to the castle, and they hope it will withstand the storm, and the sounds of the storm grow louder. So Gran and Recap go out to explore, and the castle glass is destroyed and they realize the castle will not withstand the coming storms. So Recap asks the harbor master if there are any ships present. He tells him there is one ship at the dock. So Recap asks the people if there is anyone who can pilot the ship. One of them replies to him, no one, but you can do this, please help us at least save the children and women. So Recap says, rely on me, I am used to flying in strong winds. And they go to the ship to prepare it for flying, and suddenly they find an airship targeting it and firing at it. And they hear the voice of the domineering commander from the warship. He tells them, I will explain the trick. The island is now under the influence of the Lady of the Winds who used to rule this island long ago, and she is very angry at you because you do not believe in her existence now and you forgot her. And he laughs. So Lyria says, I need a ship to fly near the Lady of the Winds, I will be able to stop her. Catalina objects and tells her, I will not put you in danger, but Lyria insists and says, I know what I will do. So Recap cuts them and says, I do not understand anything and I do not know what you can do, but if there is a way we can save all these people then I can help you. So they go to Recap's ship and he starts operating it and hopes it will fly, and talks to his ship and tells it, you are not accepting me, or you do not like to leave the island. In any case I hope we fly together. And he pulls the lever and raises the sails and the ship rises with them into the sky. In the sky Gran is worried about the ship and asks Recap, is this ship safe? He replies to him, of course, and he asks Lyria, where should I go? So she points him to the big cloud because the Lady of the Winds is there. We notice that Gran also feels the Lady of the Winds because he is living with Lyria's power. So Recap warns that the Lady of the Winds senses their presence and might attack us at any time. On the warship we find the commander asking one of the soldiers, is the device working well? He replies to him, yes, it is working well, and the Lady of the Winds' power turned out bigger than we imagined. The Lady of the Winds attacks the ship with meteors and rocks, but Recap manages to dodge her attack. The Lady of the Winds doubles the attack, and here Recap asks Gran, do you know how to make the ship at maximum speed? Gran answers him, we pull the power lever all the way. Recap laughs and tells him, with me there is a better way, and he lowers the lever completely and the ship falls with them until they are safe. Then he lifts the lever. There they see the Lady of the Winds with a purple crystal on her chest, and the soldiers are controlling her through that crystal. The moment she sees it, Lyria puts her hands on her crystal and tries to communicate with her, and she asks her not to destroy the island, but the Lady of the Winds responds by launching more meteors at them and is not answering them. So Lyria asks Recap to fly until he is above the Lady of the Winds, and Recap succeeds in executing her request. So Lyria addresses Gran and tells him the Emperor managed to control the Lady of the Winds because of the crystal on her chest. So she grants him extra power from her and tells him the only solution is to destroy the crystal. Gran stands at the edge of the ship amid the strong winds and the meteors of the Lady of the Winds and decides to throw himself onto the rock debris, and the Lady of the Winds starts attacking him with rocks and meteors. Gran dodges her attacks and manages to destroy the rocks with a strike from his sword. Suddenly he comes out from the debris and attacks the Lady of the Winds and breaks the crystal, and with the destruction of the crystal the rocks vanish and Gran falls into the void. Then the Lady of the Winds regains her consciousness and saves Gran and takes him to the ship. And Recap speaks to the Lady of the Winds and apologizes to her and tells her we were wrong to forget you and to treat the stability of the weather as something natural while you were doing much for us, and you are the reason for the prosperity of our island. The Lady of the Winds smiles and disappears, and a gemstone appears to Lyria, so she knows it is a gift from the Lady of the Winds for saving her. And they return to the islanders, and Lyria thanks Recap for helping them and that he saved the townspeople and the Lady of the Winds, and she tells the islanders now the Lady of the Winds is fine and the weather will return good again. But Recap interrupts her and blames the townspeople and tells them we also are the reason for what happened. We are the ones who forgot the Lady of the Winds. We must always remember her and value what she does for us. So things return to normal and the city regains stability, and we find Lyria and Vyrn sitting in the little girl's shop waiting for Gran, who is on his way to them but his health is not good. Catalina meets him on the way and scolds him and tells him you are careless and reckless. How do you throw yourself from the ship? You could have died again. What were you thinking when you did that? He tells her I thought only that I must save all those people. She asks him did you not think of the possibility of failure? He tells her I was expecting the power Lyria gave me would surely help me. She yells at him and tells him from now you must ask me in everything. I am now like your guardian. Ask me and I will do my best to solve any problem we face. He apologizes to her and they go together to Lyria and Vyrn at the shop, and the moment they enter he tells them he is fine, nothing is bothering him except that they ate without him, and they all laugh. And Lyria takes out the gift of the Lady of the Winds and lets Gran touch it, and suddenly he sees strange things. A volcano will erupt and a city being destroyed. Catalina and Vyrn are surprised because they do not see anything. They are interrupted by the voice of the little girl, the shop owner, who tells them using magic here is forbidden, but asks Lyria is that in your hand a sky map magic? Lyria and Gran do not understand what she means. So Catalina explains to them that the magic map is said to be a heritage from Astral and we must gather all its parts to be able to cross the dark gate that leads to the Sky Kingdom. But why did the Lady of the Winds gift it to us? And the girl, the shop owner, is very happy that she saw a sky map because it is her first time. Vyrn replies to her Gran's father had one, but Gran does not remember. And Lyria tries to describe to them what she sees and says the moment I touch it I feel I am in another place and a red mountain and a building with smoke coming from it. So the girl thinks for a while and then tells her your description is like the state of vaults. And night comes on them and we find that Gran did not sleep and went to Recap, who was fixing his ship that was destroyed in the battle. Recap asks him why did you not sleep like the rest? He tells him there is something I want to tell you. I want you to be the captain of our ship. So Recap asks him and where do you intend to go? Gran replies to him there is a place I want to go. That place is Astral Island, because my father is there. And he shows the letter his father left him. Recap holds it and reads its content. My dear son, I am waiting for you in Astral Island. So he tells Gran we always hear about that island in legends and stories. I do not know if I can believe it is real. Are you sure of your father's words? Gran tells him I am not sure because I did not see it with my own eyes. Recap smiles and tells him so you want to see it, right? Gran tells him I want to go there, and to do that I need to be a skyfarer like my father and have big experience and many allies. Recap tells him challenging the fantasy Astral Island? Why not? Count me with you from now. And in the morning Catalina goes to Recap and asks him are you sure you want to come with us? I feel you may have rushed a bit in your decision. He replies to her do not worry, I know what I want. I know the journey is dangerous, and he adds while laughing, but because I am the captain everything will be fine and we will not fall with the ship. I am very happy my ship flew and I like to fly it in the world. She tells him I am very happy you will be with us. I will depend on you a lot. At the same time the two boys who chased Gran in the market are reporting to their commander and telling him we failed to get Lieutenant Catalina and the rest out of the island, and the lieutenant managed to protect the island, and they confirm to him that they managed to spread the rumors all over the island as he asked them. And on the ship we find the shop girl offering Catalina a mission and tells her this is a secret mission and the client needs to talk with you personally. He will be in the state of vaults. Everyone asks Catalina what will we do, so she directs her words to Gran and tells him we will do what you order us to do, Captain. Gran is surprised that she wants him to be the captain. Recap tells him he is the one who gathered them, and Vyrn adds to him Gran your father at your age had a crew also, so with challenge he says then our destination is vaults. And in the sky of vaults they are amazed by the beauty of the city and the greatness of the volcano. and Recap tells them prepare for landing, and the moment Recap descends he asks one of the workers in the port about entry permits, so the man replies to them, who of you is the captain of the ship? So Recap points to Gran. The man replies mockingly, how can a child like him be the captain? So Recap tells him he is truly young, but if I were you I would not underestimate him. Gran speaks firmly and tells him we can do the required papers right now. At that time Catalina is telling the rest of the crew about vaults, and tells them here most of the volcanic lava never stops and the townspeople use this in making steel. They are interrupted by the voice of Ciero, the shop owner, who tells them you seem amazed by the beautiful city. So Catalina tells her, how did you know to come here? We left the island and you were still in the port. So Ciero tells her I am everywhere and laughs. Lyria believes her and is very amazed, so Catalina is surprised by Lyria's naivete. Ciero tells them I brought you a mission and takes out papers and hands them to Gran and tells them we cannot discuss anything here, but I have advice for you. Watch your actions because people here get nervous from strangers. So they ask her what she means. She tells them we will talk about this later also. So they go to explore the markets and find that their crafts are beautiful and things none of them saw before, but they notice there are no people in the streets, and if they find someone present he moves away from them. And when they arrive at the place where Ciero and the client will be and Ciero presents them to the client, he introduces himself and tells them I am from intelligence and asks them, are you the crew who saved the island from the Lady of the Winds? Recap replies to him, yes, we are under Gran's leadership. He tells them here your mission is of extreme importance and secrecy. Your mission is to recover our missing prince. The work must be in secrecy so none of the people know about the prince's disappearance. And he continues that the prince had relations with the emperor and we suspect he is involved in his disappearance. Catalina says this mission is very dangerous and very big and directs her words to Gran and asks him will we accept the mission or not. Gran replies we will accept the mission no matter what. So they split into two teams to start gathering useful information. They go down in the city and ask people about the prince. Many people refuse to talk and discuss, but one woman speaks to them about him and tells them the prince is sociable and loves mixing and he used to come down to the streets a lot to make children tricks and magic. Lyria asks her what magic. Her son replies our prince knows how to do beautiful magic, and her daughter adds and he gave me a pretty flower and asks where did he go? And we find that someone was listening to them and suddenly disappears. At the same time Gran and Recap and Vyrn are asking a woman who owns a weapon shop and she tells them some people say the prince is allied with the emperor to make a weapon that destroys the world. Recap tells her these are surely rumors, but what is their source? She tells him because the emperor's ships come often lately, but I do not believe what is said, but her assistant adds that the prince has been requesting lots of iron and raw materials. Why might he be collecting all this? She yells at him and tells him you also believe those rumors? He replies to her no, I am sure he is doing something for our benefit. They all gather again and discuss what they knew, and we find that the same hidden person was watching them again and also disappears. So they decide to go to the place people say they saw the prince in, and the place is empty and covered with sand, but Catalina warns them someone is walking behind them hiding himself using magic. Suddenly they hear the voice of a girl screaming, so they go towards the voice and find that three small beasts are chasing the girl. So Gran intervenes and strikes one of them and Catalina strikes the second. So they run away. Catalina says the one spying on us turned out a little girl. The girl screams at her and tells her I am not a child, I am a magician. What do you know about my master? And she means the prince. They take her with them and ask her about her relation with him and why she was spying on them. She tells them her name is Io and tells them the prince was teaching me magic. Not only that, but he is talented in making machines, but since strange people from the empire visited him he started acting in an unusual way and after that suddenly disappeared, and I am looking for him. When I saw you I felt you have information about him. Recap tells her we will take this mission from you, you are a child, and may be exposed to danger. She tells him I made my decision and will look for him with you. On the ship Io is very amazed because it is her first time flying, and they ask her about the places the prince often visited, so she tells them about many places but confirms to them she searched all of them except one place, and that is the old stone castle. So Gran orders to head there. And there in the castle the place is empty and the weather very cold and there is no one. Recap says it is impossible, there are people in this place. Io tells him I feel the presence of the prince's magic here and enters a place and points with her magic staff. So stairs appear to a secret passage. They go down and explore the place and it is colder and full of huge devices. Lyria feels pessimism from the place. Suddenly the two boys who were chasing them on the first island come out and one of them tells Lyria what you feel now is a beast. Recap shouts at them and asks what are you doing here? Do you like we continue what we were doing before you escaped from us? The boy replies to him we are not here looking for you, we are here with our master, who comes out from behind them with a little girl. The moment Catalina sees him she loses her nerves and starts screaming at him and tells him what are you doing here? Gran asks her who is this? She tells him this is the Black Knight, the emperor's advisor, and she asks the knight angrily where is the prince? He replies to her coldly and tells her do not ask me because I am searching for him too. because your prince asked us to ally together and unite the crystals with his machines and make a new weapon, and after that he disappeared, and he tells them the prince's goal is Lyria, so she will become his puppet, and points to the girl with him and says, like my puppet. Suddenly a loud destruction sound happens, and from the middle of the explosion a mechanical beast comes out. Io says this is the prince's magic and runs to him to talk to him and tells him, I am Io, don't you remember me? He attacks her. Gran defends her and Recap tries to pull her away from him, and Io tries to talk to him again, so he calms for moments. Recap raises his weapon and aims at him, and the moment he falls, Gran orders them to withdraw to a safe place. Io cries from the prince's reaction and says surely my voice does not reach him, but Lyria tells her the prince heard you and responded to you for moments, we only need to try again. So Io asks Gran, what will we do now? Catalina says we need to search in the place for any clues. Lyria says I hear a voice calling me and I felt the mechanical beast was talking to me. She points to a place and says the voice is from here, and they decide to follow the voice Lyria hears. So they go down to a place underground and Lyria asks Io to tell her about the prince, so she tells her when the prince is interested in machines and magic books he forgets to eat and drink. Maybe in days I go to him and he is covered with machine grease and forgets I am there. He used to learn magic tricks to make us laugh. He is a very kind person. Impossible he is doing something bad. They arrive at a different building and there they find a giant mechanical beast. Lyria asks him, are you the one calling me? And we hear the prince's voice from afar telling them, who are you and what are you doing here? Io talks to him and tells him, what are you doing here? Are you not coming back? But he ignores her and asks them, what did you know about my research? Gran tells him we are searching for you and want you to return with us. He tells them I am not finished yet, the mechanical beast is useless without your power, and he points to Lyria and tells her because of you I cannot execute my plan to save vaults. The advisor and his puppet and his helpers are hidden behind the walls, so the advisor orders his puppet to grant the mechanical beast from her power. So the beast moves and breaks the ground with one strike. Catalina attacks him but does not affect him, so Recap attacks him with his firearms but he is not affected. So Lyria and Gran unite and she grants him from her power, and Gran attacks him with all his strength making a small scratch. Io tries to stop him with her magic but fails, so Lyria grants her from her power, so the magic unites with the crystal's power and they attack him, so for the first time he is affected and retreats. Lyria tells Io if we unite we can defeat him together. Catalina tells Gran and Recap we will try to buy them time, and they unite and attack him at the same time. Catalina attacks his head and Gran his legs, and Recap shoots him with his weapon and he falls. The prince orders him and tells him get up and burn them. The beast rises and strikes the ground, so volcanic lava rises on them, but Lyria and Io repel the attack and are stronger than him, so they overcome the fire and finish him. The prince collapses beside him and gets angry and tells him who will protect vaults now, but Io goes to him and strikes him and tells him, were you not wanting us to be happy? We will not be happy with this machine. Surely there are many other ways to protect vaults. Please return with us, we do not want to lose you. In secret the advisor orders his team to withdraw from the place, and suddenly the place collapses on them, but the mechanical beast protects them with its body. And when they return to the castle, Io starts telling them and says, when I was little my father died because of the plague that spread, and I was very sad and did not know anyone and lived alone until I met the prince, and he tried to make me happy and teach me magic and began to take care of me. Lyria cries and tells her that is why you were ready to do anything to save him. I also do not know my father and mother. Catalina is the only one who is always beside me. If something happens to her I do not know how to describe to you what I might feel, so I understand you. Io tells her thank you very much for helping me and makes her a trick and gives her a flower. Lyria is very happy with it. Vyrn asks Io why was he always thinking of making children happy. Io replies he never told us the reason, but he was always trying to make us happy. Here the prince speaks and says the children are the future of the nation, and for this reason I was trying to care for them, but no matter how I tried for the island to be stable there is always external danger. There must be a power to protect you. Io asks him what is that danger. He tells her I had a visit from a person I do not know and he gifted me something and told me it is a source of power, but I do not remember anything after that. But I apologize to you Io, I made a big mistake, and he directs his words to the rest of the crew and tells them thank you for caring about Io and helping her. And he says I made a mistake when I used the mechanical beast in this way, and in the end I hurt it because it was destroyed. So Lyria tells him the beast was not hurt by you, it is the one that protected you from death and decided that its last mission be to protect you and left you a sky map and gives you a red crystal. He refuses and tells her the beast surely wants to tell you something, you are the one who must keep it. So Lyria thanks him and they decide to prepare to continue their journey. Io asks Gran where do you want to go? He tells her to Astral Island, my father is waiting for me there. Io asks him and what is your destination now? Gran and Lyria touch the map and see a blue island. Catalina tells them these are the August Isles. Recap confirms her words and says they are surrounded by the ocean. Gran and Lyria ask what is ocean. Recap tells them there you will know. In the morning the prince goes down to bid them farewell at the port and the people are happy to see him again, and from afar Io runs to catch them. Recap tells her good you caught up to bid us farewell. She tells him I am not bidding you farewell, I will continue the journey with you, I must become a great magician, I have made my decision. The prince tells her I agreed that you offer them the matter, not force your opinion. She replies to him I could have hidden in the ship with my magic without permission. They all laugh, and the prince tells Gran I hope you agree that she be with you. Gran tells him I have no problem, she be with us, and the rest of the crew share and tell her surely we will welcome you with us. On their way they take Sierra with them because she will open a new shop on an island they will pass through on their way to the August Isles. So Sierra thanks them and tells them if you take anything from the shop I will give you a big discount for helping me, and she tells them I will prepare for you the supplies you will need for your journey within 2 days. And about this subject, here on the island there are ruins just discovered and people asked me to do work in them, so Recap cuts her and tells her do not tell me you offered us the supplies in return for this mission. She replies to him I am part of my work never to waste talents like you, so Recap gets embarrassed and thanks her. Catalina interrupts and tells them we will be free for 2 days so we can help. So Gran asks Sierra where are these ruins. She tells him I will prepare you a map immediately. So they start their journey in searching for the ruins, and they arrive at a big beautiful castle in the middle of the forest. Recap tells them let's go explore the castle, but Catalina cuts him and tells him no one discovered this place before, we must be cautious. Recap tells her we are the ones who must know what is inside, we will not gain anything if we do not enter. Io joins him and tells them we must enter and see the place ourselves. Recap laughs and tells her Io the troublemaker is right. Io gets angry and tells him I am not a child. They laugh at them. Suddenly the ground under Lyria collapses and she is half above and half below the ground. Gran tries to save her but the ground collapses under him too. Suddenly the ground collapses completely under all of them and they fall underground and find themselves in a big place, but not all together. Gran and Recap and Io in a place and Lyria and Catalina and Vyrn in another place. Catalina says this is a trap to get rid of strangers or the place is old and collapsing, but the important thing now is that we reach Gran and the others. Vyrn offers that he flies and searches for the rest, but bats come out to them and Catalina kills them and tells him the place is not safe for you to be alone. Lyria tells her I can know where Gran is. At the same time Gran tells Recap he can know where Lyria is because he shares with her the same life force. I do not know exactly where she is but I can determine the direction to walk. So he points them to the direction to walk, and the moment they get close they find a flood coming out from the gate. Io defends them and makes a wind cyclone with her magic around them, preventing the water from reaching them, and they continue their way. At that time Lyria is leading Catalina and Vyrn but they do not reach anything and she tells them I started feeling Gran's presence everywhere. Vyrn tells her Gran has a high sense and tells her the first time when we saw you it was Gran's sense that led us to you. Catalina tells her but Gran is always reckless. Vyrn confirms to her and tells her when we were young Gran loved to depend on himself and not ask anyone for anything. I am very proud of him and know how much he struggled to reach his level now. I will help him until he meets his father. Catalina tells him it is hard that his father ventured on this journey alone, surely he had a crew. On the other side Io tries to light the way with her magic but cannot, so Recap lights a piece of wood and gives it to her, and tells her no need to tire yourself, adults know how to handle things. She gets angry at him and tells him I am not a child, and they fight. Gran laughs at them. Recap asks him why are you laughing. Gran replies their fights remind him of himself and Vyrn. When they were exploring a cave in their town they got lost and kept fighting, but in the end they found the way out. Suddenly they hear loud sounds of destruction and screaming, so they find 2 girls being chased by a sand beast, and one of them tells her friend surely this beast is the one behind the treasure, so she attacks it with bombs. But it is not affected and attacks the other girls, so Gran intervenes and saves her. Recap shoots the beast with his weapon, but he notices it is made of sand and regenerates again. Gran attacks it with his sword to make a gap and the girls throw bombs inside the beast, but it regenerates again and is not affected. Gran orders them to make a combined attack. Gran distracts the beast and Recap attacks it from behind and the girls attack it with bombs, and at that time Io makes a flood of water with her magic and finishes it. Suddenly the ceiling opens and Lyria and Catalina and Vyrn fall from above with them, but we find that the 2 girls are not interested in anything but the door that leads to the treasure. The door opens and the place is full of gold from the ground to the ceiling, but what catches Gran's attention is the sword in the middle of the room. The moment he holds it a light shines covering the place, and suddenly the place and the gold and everything disappears, leaving only the sword. They return return to Sierra's shop, who apologizes to them for not paying for the mission because she was relying on the treasure, and tells them why not consider the sword and the food and drink she will provide you with as the price for this mission. Catalina tells her no problem. Recap says we were not waiting for a reward for our work. Gran shows the sword to the two girls and tells them you are the ones who deserve it because the treasure disappeared. One of them replies to him, we will not need it, and without you we would have been dead, and she returns the sword to him. They prepare to fly and continue their journey to the Auguste Isles. And on the ship Lyria sleeps and dreams that she killed Gran and the rest of the crew until Gran wakes her and tells her they finally arrived at the Auguste Isles. Catalina tells them this is the only island surrounded by the ocean from all directions. Lyria and Io cannot believe there is such a beautiful place. Recap tells them get ready because we will dock on the water, and Io gets angry at him and tells him this way we will die, and it is her first time seeing an airship on the water. They arrive at the port but are surprised it is a tourist place, but there is no one present. Lyria feels a primitive beast but says this beast is very weak and asks Gran, are you not feeling anything? He tells her I do not feel anything, but there is a strange smell. So they go towards the source of the smell. They find strange parasitic bodies on the shore, and smoke coming from a far place, and they hear a voice of a man on a boat, telling them stay away from that smoke because we are burning things in it. The man on the boat is surprised and tells Recap, what are you doing here? And here we know his name is Eugen, and he is an old friend of Recap, and asks Recap about his ship, and tells him did you manage to repair it and fly with it or not? Recap tells him I repaired it and now we are traveling the world with it. Eugen tells him and now you are traveling the world with your family, and points to Catalina and tells him, surely this is your wife and these are your children. Recap tells him they are not my family, we are skyfarers. Eugen offers him they continue the talk in the city. And on Eugen's ship he tells Recap, I cannot believe you are not a skyfarer now. Eugen tells him the crisis we are in forced me to become an agent. Recap asks him about the type of crisis on the island. Eugen tells him we are in war with the Erste Empire because they pollute the sea with their experiments. We tried with treaties but now there is no option but war, but we will be able to drive them out of Auguste by force, and also we have the sea guardian dragon supporting us. And he asks them where are you going? Gran tells him to Astral. Eugen laughs at him and tells him you must be very brave to go there. And the moment they pass the gates he welcomes them to the most beautiful city built on water, the capital of Auguste Isle. And the city is lively with many people and many shops. Eugen hosts them in a beautiful place, and some soldiers enter with an injured person and tell them another beast attacked the shore. Io enters and helps the patient and heals him with magic. Eugen asks her do you use healing magic? She replies to him and tells him I am a magician, and tells him I also want to heal the rest of the injured here. He tells her there are many injured because we are only armed civilians without training, and he tells Io I will show you the place of the injured, and he asks Catalina to train some of their soldiers. Catalina tells him this is a simple thing I can offer, and she asks Lyria can you manage without me? Lyria tells her I became brave and can manage. Catalina tells Gran take care of Lyria. Eugen asks Recap to help repair the ships. He tells him do not ask me for anything. One of the soldiers begs him to repair his ship. Recap agrees and goes with him. Gran and Lyria ask that they also help, so he tells them you can bring the requests from the markets and get to know the city. They are happy with this fun task. They go down to the market and enter all the shops until Lyria stands before a restaurant and is amazed by the fish she never saw before. She asks the restaurant owner what is this? He replies in surprise you did not hear about Auguste food. And two other townspeople tell them you must try our food. An old man intervenes and tells them do not bother the customers, and the moment he knows they are visitors he offers them to host them. Gran refuses and tells him we are in the middle of a mission and cannot waste time. The chef prepares the food in seconds. As usual Lyria is exposed by the sound of her stomach. Gran asks about the bill. The restaurant owner replies and tells him on the restaurant, and if you like the food visit us again and bring your friends and family. One of the chefs tells him your selling skills are amazing, there is nothing better than investing in the future. Gran and Lyria eat and Lyria enjoys the food and tells Gran we must all eat here together, the food will be more delicious if we eat it together. At that time Recap finishes his work and sits with Eugen and tells him this was your plan from the beginning, to bring us with you to help you because you have a shortage of workers. Eugen tells him you must repay my favors to you, but you have changed a lot. The old Recap would never leave the leadership of his precious ship to a child. Recap tells him because this is his life dream. Gran is very straightforward and naive and I cannot do anything but help him. Eugen cunningly tells him this happens to you because you became old. Io and Vyrn enter after finishing their task. Eugen tells them tonight the dinner will be very delicious because it is my turn in cooking. Io offers him that she helps in cooking. He thanks her and tells her that Catalina is already in the kitchen and helping him. They all scream and tell him you committed the biggest mistake today. Suddenly they hear the sound of an explosion. Catalina made fire in the kitchen. In the market Lyria is impressed with the jewelry and asks the shop owner what are these things. He tells her these are jewels made from shells and sea coral, and it is said that if you carry them they will protect you, and every color expresses a mission of the shell. Lyria is impressed with the blue one, so he tells her the blue strengthens the relation between people. Gran buys it and puts it on her. The rain begins to fall on them. They sit in a rest place. She tells him, today reminds me of the day we shopped on the first island we visited, and that day Catalina gifted me a diary. I am writing in it everything the day we met and our adventures, and today I wrote about the beautiful city above the water and about your gift to me. Gran gets embarrassed from her. The city bells ring and the rain stops and a rainbow appears in the sky. Suddenly Gran remembers he forgot to buy the last request from Eugen's list, so he tells Lyria he will go get it alone. On the way a woman meets him and tells him beware and disappears. Lyria is alone in the rest place and suddenly masked people appear and kidnap her. Gran feels something strange and quickly returns and does not find her, so he searches for her everywhere and sees her hair on a boat in the river, so he chases them, but they go out of the gates and they close on him. An attack happens on the city by the warships and they kill the residents' leader and capture them. Lyria tells him, why do you kill the residents, why are you this cruel? He tells Lyria, we must be cruel with the islanders because you hid in it. If you had not escaped the people would be safe, but you are the reason for what happened. You must cooperate with us so we do not kill these people. Lyria tells him, I do not want to cooperate with you, I want to continue my journey with the crew. He tells her, you are just a tool not allowed to travel. The mages left you for us, so we destroy anything with you. You are a tool for us like the weapon in my hand, and he kills a man from the residence. Lyria tells him, I am not a tool and I do not kill people. He tells her, that is because you forgot. I will remind you how terrifying a tool you are, and he orders the soldier to bring him the crystal, and brings it close to her so she remembers the number of beasts she killed in just one experiment. He tells her, you are a destructive tool, you cannot be with common people. If people discover your power they will use it in destruction. She tells him, but the crew do not kill anyone. He tells her, your existence with them will cause them trouble and sadness and you are the one who will kill them. Lyria remembers the dream, and he continues his words and tells her the best place you must be in is with us, because we are the only ones who know how to control your power, and he pulls from her hair the blue pin and breaks it. From afar Gran's voice comes, who managed to take down all the soldiers, and he gets angry at the commander and tells him, I will kill you. What did you do to Lyria? And Lyria is crying for the pin but without voice. The commander replies to him and tells him, I only reminded her of her truth. Suddenly from the water the guardian dragon comes out and attacks the commander's ship and splits it in half, so the warships attack it. It destroys them. The commander tells Lyria, do you want to destroy everything again? And he strikes her. Gran runs to him and attacks him with his leg, so the commander flies and falls into the sea. The rest of the crew arrive, but Lyria is not talking. Gran notices the dragon has a red crystal, so he knows evil controls it and says, I must save it. But Catalina tells him we must withdraw and go to a high place so we escape from the flood, and we cannot leave Lyria in this state. But they do not manage to escape and suddenly drown in plants that hold them and pull them up. We find it is the same girl who told him in the market beware and disappeared. The girl takes them to a safe place, but Lyria never wakes up, so Io tries with healing magic but she is not affected. Eugen says surely the guardian dragon is the reason. The girl whom we know her name is Rosetta tells him the guardian dragon was not like this, but the pollution the empire caused and the sea is what made it like this. But it is not the reason for Lyria's illness. Lyria is the one who cancelled her mind and separated herself from reality. Catalina asks her, what do we do to save her? Rosetta replies, the cure is not easy, and if we force her to wake up bigger problems may happen. But the only one who can communicate with her is Gran. Rackham cuts them and tells Rosetta, who are you and who do you work for and why do you do this? She tells him, these are my secrets, but I will not harm you. I am the one who has the cure for Lyria. I will leave you time to think, and walks away. One of Eugen's assistants enters and tells him the sea level rose again and the waters became polluted, so Eugen and Rackham go down, and the rest of the crew stay with Lyria. Gran tells Catalina, when I first saw Lyria she was crying and not responding to my words, and the commander Palmern said something about her destroying everything again. He asks her, what does he mean? Catalina tells him the Empire did an experiment on Lyria and some beasts on an abandoned island, but Lyria summoned something that could erase the island's existence from the earth. We do not know what she summoned, but from that time Lyria was imprisoned and I was chosen to monitor her, and at that time I felt she had no emotions and was just a tool. But with time I discovered she feels but cannot express her feelings well, so I started teaching her to talk and write and express herself. So Lyria started to be drawn to the outside world from the stories I told her about, and she started to think and wish to live freely outside the walls. For this reason I made the decision to let her escape, and we met you that day, but you taught Lyria things I could not teach her, and her adventures with you make her very happy. Gran tells her, but I could not protect her. Catalina gets angry and tells him, I am the one who should protect you. You are just children, but you helped her a lot and managed to make her happy after she was imprisoned and did not know anything about the world. and she tells him you must rest and I will stay with Lyria. Gran goes out and meets Vyrn and Gran shows tension and worry, so Vyrn asks him what are you thinking about. Gran tells him I do not know if I must tell Lyria something, what would it be? And what thing would make her isolate herself from the world this way? Vyrn tells him no one knows, but you can ask Lyria yourself. Your lives are connected, so surely you will know how to communicate with her. You are the only one who can do that. Gran thanks him and decides to go to Rosetta and ask her how do I communicate with Lyria. She tells him we must go to a beast, it is the only one who can help you. Gran returns to Rackham and tells him this is the only way. Rackham tells him whatever your decision I will support you even though I do not trust Rosetta. But you are the captain and I will try to help you. Io enters them and screams at them and tells them why do you not include me in the decisions? Lyria is my friend and I must participate in saving her. I must be with you. The crew prepare to fly and Rackham bids Eugen farewell and tells him we will finish this mission and visit you again. We find Sierra arrived to the island to provide them with the food and goods they lack because of the war. She bids the crew farewell and tells Eugen all the things you asked for are ready. Catalina tells Rosetta we are depending on you in this mission. Rosetta tells her depend on me. And she tells Gran our destination is the Lumacy Isles. In the sky Gran shows signs of worry and sadness and Rackham notices his worry, but Rackham directs his words to Rosetta and tells her I do not trust you, so try not to do any strange act. She tells him you are a person very concerned with details and everything. He tells her anyone must wonder about your position with us and your help to us without a clear reason. They arrive at their destination and it is a green island. Rosetta tells them they call Lumacy Al the Forgotten Island. Catalina carries Lyria who was dreaming she is in a big place full of books and the ground made of blood, and she tries to reach the crew so they appear to her, and the moment she touches Gran he disappears and the rest of the crew disappear, and she hears a voice telling her you are a tool of destruction, eliminating anyone no matter who he is. She asks the source of the voice. Am I the reason for their death? It tells her you are the reason for any destruction happening, and her blue hairpin disappears and she collapses and the place around her turns all to ice. On the island they walk a long path full of slopes. Rackham asks Rosetta is this the only way? She tells him no, there are other ways, but this is the easiest. They arrive at a big beautiful tree. Rosetta tells them we finally arrived, and she speaks to the tree and tells it appear I have guests for you. A small very beautiful girl appears. Rosetta tells them this is the beast of the abandoned forests and she is the one who will help us. The forest girl runs to her and hugs her. Io asks them you are friends. Rosetta tells her we are more than friends, we are family. The forest girl sees Lyria and looks at her with sadness. Rosetta tells her this girl was hurt badly to the point she isolated herself from the world. Gran tells her please help us cure Lyria. She smiles and stretches her legs so plants form a resting place. Rosetta asks them to sit. Rosetta starts to explain to them what the forest girl tells her because she is the only one who can communicate with her. She tells them she will connect Gran with Lyria so he can talk to her, but the rest depends on Gran. Io gives him Lyria's hairpin and tells him surely this will help you. I tried to fix it. Lyria was holding it all the time. I could not return it as before, but I tried. Gran thanks her and holds Lyria's hand, and the forest girl holds her other hand. Gran enters Lyria's consciousness and it is like the sea, dark and at the bottom ice surrounding Lyria. He talks with her and tells her what are you feeling? She tells him these books are all memories of my other personality, memories making me unable to deal with you again. I am the one who forgot myself to escape from being a tool and hurting all people. And she takes him with her to the memory of the abandoned island and tells him I am the one who erased it when I asked for help from one of my beasts. And I erased the whole island. I am the reason. Gran tells her the emperor forced you to do this. She tells him this is my power, I destroy anything. I am just a puppet for killing. This is the truth I am trying to forget. All the problems we faced in our journey were because of me. Because I wanted you to help me. He tries to get close to her but she warns him and tells him if you get close I might destroy everything again. Gran tells her you did not destroy anything. During the long journey you used your power in helping and you did not destroy anything. She screams at him and tells him and Catalina, she was one of the best soldiers and now they are chasing her because of me, and you too, you died because of me. Gran tells her this is not your fault. Catalina chose to help you. She does not think like that, and without you I would not have made the great journey I wished for in my childhood. You made my dream real. She screams at him and tells him you could have made your dream freely without all these problems. I am the one who destroyed your future. You and Catalina always help me and in return I hurt you. I do not want to hurt anyone dear to me again, and she starts to push him out of her consciousness and tells him I must disappear. I will grant you my whole life. He screams at her and tells her Lyria you understand wrong. She replies to him and tells him from the beginning I should have given you all my life, not half of it. He begs her not to do this and tells her I do not want to continue the journey without you. The hairpin falls beside her so she calms and holds it, and he manages to reach her again and tells her Io and Vyrn fixed it, and Catalina and Rackham asked me to return it to you. and he goes to her and tells her, you did not destroy anyone, we have a bond and friendship and you are the reason for it. You chose the blue hairpin because it makes us connected together. You did not destroy our future, you created our friendship. We are all waiting for you. We must continue our journey together. The darkness disappears and a rainbow appears. She tells him this view is the same one we saw in the city. He tells her, but this time I will not leave you and I will protect you and protect your friends. They both wake up among the crew's amazement, and the moment Lyria talks, Catalina hugs her and cries. Lyria apologizes to them and tells them, sorry I worried you. Recap tells her, now we can continue our journey together, and the forest girl disappears. Suddenly they hear the sound of the war signal and see warships in the sky. The commander Palmerin is planning to wipe out the whole island and orders the soldiers to burn all the forests. But Catalina interferes and tells him, I will not allow you to harm the islanders. He tells her, I am happy you appeared. I must reclaim the tool left for us by the astrals and the crystals. Gran tells him Lyria is not a tool or a weapon. He replies to him, she is a destructive weapon even without using all her power. Catalina tells him Lyria knows the value of her power and knows how to control it. You are the ones who attack her and destroy islands by your actions and your desire to make dangerous experiments. Recap tells him, you are the ones who polluted the sea and destroyed the island and were going to burn the forests. The commander tells them, then I will use force with you, and he brings out the purple crystal and beasts from the forest appear. He is controlling with the crystal's power and he orders his soldiers to capture them. Suddenly plants appear from underground and Rosetta tells him, I will not allow you to harm the forest. The crew attacks the soldiers and soldier after soldier falls. Gran attacks the commander and targets the crystal and breaks it. But the commander pulls out a weapon and aims at Gran. Here Lyria intervenes and summons the primal beast Tiamat, and tells him, I know how to use my power on the people I choose, and Tiamat directs her storm on the commander and he drowns in the sea. Rosetta disappears again. Recap tells them, she helped us a lot, I misjudged her. Lyria tells them the Lord of the Sea is calling her and asks her for help, and that from the moment she entered the island he is talking to her and tells her he wants to protect the sea and the islanders and was protecting her too, but the pollution was preventing him. He needs our help. Recap tells her, we are with you and we will fulfill your wish, and the old Eugen is waiting for us on the island anyway. Catalina tells her, we will help anyone who needs help. This is our mission. Gran orders the return to Auguste. Rosetta bids them farewell from afar and tells herself, surely Gran will succeed because he is the son of the person who ventured with me on my greatest journeys. And on Auguste all the Lord of the Sea completely loses control and starts attacking the city. The forces in the city begin defending with weapons and attack him with bombs and cannons, but he is not affected and he attacks Eugen. Suddenly the primal beast automaton appears and defends Eugen, and it is Lyria who summoned it. Eugen tells them, I am very happy to see you again and that you are safe, but things with us are not fine. Our guardians started attacking us. Gran offers him help, but Eugen refuses and tells him he is much stronger than us. We must evacuate the city of the residents. Lyria tells him, we want to help the guardian beast because he used all his power to face the pollution of the sea. If we do not help him, he may die. We must help him regain his strength to return to his nature. Eugen orders his soldiers to clear the way for the crew so they can reach the guardian beast, and they head to the highest area in the city. The guardian beast attacks them with small parasitic monsters. Suddenly the ruins island girls Mary and Carva appear and offer them help and defeat the small monsters, and all the soldiers of the island with their different skills help in clearing the way for them. The numbers of monsters doubles, so suddenly a woman surrounded by butterflies appears and can kill the monsters with a strike, and a man attacks the monsters with giant rocks, and a girl with a huge charge, and a young man moving at lightning speed. But the small monsters begin to gather together and make a great attack on them, as if someone is gathering them and giving them orders. Gran feels something strange. They find that in the middle of the big gathering there is a different monster, and it surrounds them all and prevents them from approaching the guardian beast. People intervene and say they are knights volunteering to help. One of them attacks and splits the monster in half, but they gather together again. Eugen approaches the small monsters and targets the different monster and shoots it, and the moment he kills it, the small monsters return chaotic again, and he tells Gran and Lyria, this is your chance to restore the guardian beast. Lyria summons the forest girl and grants her power to Gran, and Gran attacks the guardian dragon and targets the crystal, and the closer he gets the more the heat increases and Gran burns from the flames, and Lyria also is affected by Gran's injury and burns, so she grants him additional power and the crystal explodes. Eugen speaks with the dragon and tells him, you were always present protecting us and protecting the sea. You are the one who saved my daughter after she drowned. You are the one who saved her. I wished you were present and I am the one saving you, but she left the island. The guardian dragon disappears and leaves a new map for Lyria. Suddenly the Black Knight counselor appears and orders his puppet to do her work. she takes from Lyria's power with her abilities. Lyria asks him, this girl is like me, tell me about our origin. He tells her still a long time until you know the truth. And he orders his puppet and tells her let's move. In the city, Sierra prepares a big celebration for the end of the mission, and all the people are happy and the knights participate in the celebration. Lyria tells them, I need to meet the girl with the counselor again. If I talk with her I may know things about myself, even though I am afraid of knowing myself, but I am reassured by your presence with me. Yujin thanks them and tells them, without you my soldiers could not have saved the island. He asks them, do you not need someone extra in the crew? He tells them, I will go straight to the point, I want to join you in the journey. Rakam tells him, why do you want to leave the island and join us? He replies to him and tells him, because you go through very exciting things, also I was postponing something I must do, so I hope you accept me with you. Gran replies with a smile and welcome and tells him, we will be happy that you are with us. Yujin tells him, this is a very fast decision, are you sure? Gran tells him, your presence will be a good addition. Io says Lyria's usual phrase, the more the number increases the more fun. Yujin cuts them and tells them, thank you very much, but this is the time of celebration. They prepare to fly to their new destination and the islanders bid them farewell with big celebrations. Gran asks Yujin, did you order them? Yujin tells him, no, these are celebrations from the townspeople for you, and they take off.